This is a chart of another one highlighting the core goods prices. Now this is over the past year, and you can see this acceleration. And this really started about a year ago when everyone was stuck at home and everyone ran to the supermarket. And all of a sudden you saw bare shelves on the supermarket. And that was the first sign that supply chains were all screwed up because of COVID. And a lot of it obviously had to do with production facilities that were offline. You had a lot of absenteeism. So whether it was Kellogg's making cereal or with Smithfield Foods making meat and beef, there was just not enough supply. At the same time, we had this massive amount of demand. And that, I think, then continued into other things. As we saw in 2020, one of the surprises was this flood of spending on goods. Obviously, people weren't going outside and spending on restaurants and bars and other services, but they were renovating their kitchen, they were redoing their backyard, they were buying exercise equipment because they weren't going to the gym. They were buying laptops and tech products because their kids were learning from home and they were working from home. So you had this big pickup in demand for goods that was not foreseen. You had families moving from the cities to the suburbs, so they were buying houses, they were buying cars. And keep in mind, in March, April, into May of last year, a lot of these production facilities were completely shut down. So the world immediately was backlogged. And was backed up with not enough production relative to this demand. And then you throw in, as the year progressed, a big spike in transportation costs. And one of the arguments I make for this not being transitory is when you break down different parts of transportation, obviously you can ship, now every single good in the world that's produced, of course, ends up on a ship, a truck, a railroad, or a plane. So take planes. A lot of the passenger plane flights also take cargo. It's not just taking people. So we've obviously shelved over the past year a lot of planes. Well, that took a lot of cargo capacity offline that was then filled by FedEx, UPS, and others. But that is something that's not going to come back to pre-COVID levels for a while, particularly when you have business travel. That's going to take a while to recover. In 2019, we had a manufacturing recession globally, driven by the Trump trade tariffs on China. Well, you had countless numbers of trucking bankruptcies in the US in response to that. So you had a lot of truck capacity that was taken offline. We've had massive consolidation in the container shipping market over the last couple of years that is now dominated by a few big companies. So those companies are not going to just give away their newfound pricing power. That is something that is going to be longer lasting. So not only do we have the higher commodity prices, the difficulty in procuring other parts to a finished product, but also then the cost of shipping that product is also obviously through the roof. And while prices may recede as things normalize, they're going nowhere near where they were pre-COVID.